Many Americans are now vaccinated. Some of them are under-vaccinated. Got one shot, as we were just talking about, but did not return for their second. Michael Dowling is CEO of Northwell Health, which has given more than 194,000 vaccinations, including the first in the U.S. back in December. But at least 3,500 of those people are now more than 42 days late for their second dose. Michael, thank you for being with us. What's the reason that you're getting, if you have any sense of this, for why people aren't coming for their second dose? Is it concerns, there's, especially with Moderna, about the side effects and people feeling bad after the second one?
Well, I think it's a combination of all of those. I don't think you can just pick one thing and say that is it. But I also think we have to be careful about what we say in the press, because over the last couple of weeks, there have been stories about how, the one-dose vaccine is going to be good enough. And so I'm sure some people out there were saying, well, I got the first dose, and I've been just reading a story here on the news that maybe the one dose is sufficient, so maybe I don't need to go back to get the second one. So there is so much information out there, and sometimes we report on a lot of information without having the definitive answers on these things. So it's that I think is a reason. It's also, I think, people get busy, people forget, people decide, well, the first dose is good enough, so I don't need to get the second dose. So what we're doing is we're reaching out to all of those people. About 3% of the people that we have given vaccination to have not come back for the second dose. That's almost 3,000 people. So we're reaching out to all of them, making direct contact, just to convince them that it's important for them to come back and get the second dose. So It's an ongoing process, and that will continue.
Now, there were some stories also about the efficacy of one dose, I think to encourage people that there would be some protection. And I guess that's a concern at this point, because if you get too many people who only got the one dose, they could become asymptomatic spreaders, right? And then we're in a difficult position that you really do need to get that second dose if you got the first.
Yes, you have to get the second dose. We strongly urge that everybody does. But remember, 97% of the people that we actually have vaccinated have come back for the second dose. So while you still have, 3,000 people, it's a relatively small percentage. But yes, the second dose is important. We got to listen to the science here and just make sure that we do everything possible to get as many people as vaccinated as possible. Now, one other thing I mentioned, the J&J vaccine, which has just come out, and we did, I believe, the first one in Long Island, at least, vaccination with the J&J vaccine. That's one dose. So maybe when people know that there's a one-dose vaccine out there and we get the supply, which we're now getting, that will solve some of this problem. The more and more people get the J&J vaccine.
Yeah, how much of this is people's fear of needles? They're in for one, but maybe not the other, and J&J might, as you mentioned, address that.
Yes, and also, the minority populations, the black populations, and the inner city populations are the ones that we have to spend an awful lot of time focusing on, and using people that have already been vaccinated, that are minority individuals that are out there advocating in their communities that getting the vaccine is very important. Yeah. We're doing that. We have an equity task force with people from all of those local communities to try to continue to educate people that doing this is what will protect you from getting sick, protect you from being hospitalized. And it's unbelievably important right now so that we can actually win against this virus over time.
Absolutely. And that's why I said my parents got their second dose over the weekend, and my mom told me yesterday that they are feeling great. Thank you.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.